I always like it when I'm preceded by someone who's just my height. I was afraid I'm going to, make a horrible noise. So, hello. Thank you for coming. Thanks so much to Peg for inviting me, and thanks to all these wonderful authors. I feel so honored to be in this company. So the section I'm going to read is from my novel, Bigfoot and the Baby. And the part I'm going to read is in the point of view of one of the main characters, whose name is Kyle Majesty. And Kyle's life has not been going very well. He starts the novel off by shooting himself in the foot while doing a gun safety demonstration, which, if YouTube is to be believed, actually is a common problem. But that actually wasn't a problem for Kyle, because his real dream in life was to become a stand-up comedian. However, that also did not go well. So in the meantime, his wife and baby daughter have rocketed to fame and fortune through a retail venture that I won't describe in great detail. But it's kind of like, it's sort of like a shopping cult. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. So what Kyle does now is he sits around in the game room in their beautiful new house watching a TV show called The Weird Frontier, which is about the search for Bigfoot. And the host of The Weird Frontier is a man named Topper Moss, who's kind of slowly going crazy because he's gotten a little too obsessed with Bigfoot. And the show is actually on now 24 hours a day, and so Topper has all these hours to fill. So anyway, their lives are kind of becoming parallel, Kyle's and Topper's. So anyway, here's Kyle watching the show. We'll first see the show and then we'll see a little bit of Kyle. At the moment, Topper was showing a live feed from a Bigfoot convention in Boise, Idaho. In his thick accent, Klaus Lorentz, the avid tracker, set the ground rules for the next panel. There is to be no discussion, none, of outer space, telepathy, astral projection, sexual probing, subterranean machinery, robots, or spores. The search for Bigfoot is a scientific endeavor on par with finding and identifying the now well-understood platypus. Cryptozoology is a branch of zoology, and it is past time for it to receive respect as such. We have had far too many crackpots at this event already. I say no to crackpots. We will confine our discussion to the science, and the science only. On cue, a man rose from the audience. This meticulously groomed person wore a tailored white shirt and navy blue pressed slacks, and could have lent the enterprise the credibility that Klaus so desired. The only hitch was the short purple cape draped over his shoulders and fastened with a gold chain. I see nothing wrong with exploring the paranormal aspects of Bigfoot, said the man whose name did not appear on the screen. You wouldn't, said Klaus, who obviously had dealt with him before. We now know that the apocalypse is coming any day now, and this increased Bigfoot activity cannot be a coincidence. The so-called paranormal events that accompany this activity may well signal the operation of a superior intelligence with telepathic and other powers. Might we surmise that Bigfoot is the next stage of mankind's evolution who will take over once we are all gone? No, Klaus roared. Professor Bud Zeeb of the University of Eastern Northern California, a man so conflict-averse that his trembling was visible from 30 feet away, stood carefully. Bigfoot is most likely an earlier stage of human evolution, or rather a dead-end branch thereof, a Neanderthal or Gigantopithecus that survived the last ice age, perhaps by dwelling in an underground lava cave. The fossil record suggests. Damn the fossil record, said Cape Man. Damn you! Klaus pointed at Cape Man from the lectern. Cape Man was held back from brushing the lectern by his cape. Your time is over! Cape Man coughed as his gold chain tightened at his neck. It was unclear whether he meant Klaus's time on Earth or merely the time allotted for his remarks. Clutching his neck, Cape Man turned and shoved the man who was trying to restrain him. Both staggered and fell into a stack of folding chairs. The melee escalated. Klaus rolled a pitcher of water from the stage. Suddenly, the camera began moving, following behind as Topper, who had been resting in the back, swam through the rows of shouting men. For Topper, the past year had felt like 20. His complexion had taken on a yellow cast. He had lost his deadpan demeanor, which some thought ironic, entirely. Only his cockeyed pith helmet identified him. His pursuit of Bigfoot had led him to two inescapable conclusions. One, this was the most important story of all time, and two, absolutely no one else was capable of grasping why. Pausing just below the lectern, he waved a hortatory finger at the fuming Klaus. "Klaus Lorenz," he shouted, his voice high and quavering, "you are a person who has consistently failed to appreciate the power of myth." "Myth," Klaus sputtered. "Myth! You believe if something is a myth, it cannot also be real. I say nothing is more real than myth. At this very moment around the world, people are flagellating themselves in the name of myth. They are starving or singing or building statues or skyscrapers or bombs. They are deciding how to live their lives based on mistranslated stories that are thousands of years old. We make myths out of human beings, call them celebrities, and throw ourselves at them, craving their attention and their blessing. This nation is perhaps the greatest myth of all. America is a story we tell ourselves. I told it to myself as a child in England. Someday, I would go to a land of unlimited promise, where people reinvent themselves over and over, where the past is not entombed in stone monuments, but light and flexible, like film, like the very future. Now here I am, living right in the middle of the story and helping to compose it at the same time. We are living this story, you and I, and all these people here. He waved his arms frantically over the crowd. "And out there too," he flailed toward the camera. "What you are missing out on, what you are destroying for everyone, Klaus, is wonder." "Topper Moss, you and your disreputable show treat the truth as a dog treats a fire hydrant." Klaus did not so much launch himself into the crowd as bounce into it, his barrel-shaped head leading him straight to Topper. With a cry of "Truth!" he grabbed Topper around the waist and tried to tackle him. Topper's pith helmet fell off, revealing a bony pate ringed with a sad gray fringe. Cape-Man hit Klaus in the back with a folding chair. Bud Zeeb tugged weakly at Cape-Man's cape from behind, succeeding only in spinning it sideways. Topper extricated himself and struggled, gasping, toward the camera. "All you out there, you understand, don't you? It's not just science, it's not just myth. It's the irrepressible pull we all feel toward the unknown, the unsettling, even the impossible. That's what makes us human. Don't you see? I have been trying to show you people your own humanity. I beg you, tell me my work has not been in vain." Kyle could have sworn Topper looked right at him with his golf ball-sized eyes. But what could Kyle Majeski, of all humanity, possibly do to help Topper? He could not even get off the couch, let alone reassure a man who lived on television that his whole existence had not been a waste. Poor Topper, he thought. No one listened to him. He had met the fate of all prophets, which is why most kept their mouths shut. Thank you.